Not yet.
Even if I did, there was no way he heard. The reporters were having fits of giggles about it all, but I cut in. Lies, lies. That only made them laugh harder. Willie, too. Now, he says, I can't help but wonder if there wasn't something else at play. I was training to get to the front lines, the same place Willie'd been training to get, but the palace had scuttled his plans. The spare? Sure. Let him run around on a battlefield like a chicken with his head cut off. It's what he likes, but the heir...
History to repeat itself, which is pretty dark.
That's quite a statement. Who do you think that is?
I'm not going to share it at this point. You know, I know all the names of the people that were involved in this process. And again, you know, you have to question, why wasn't I put through the same risk management board that everybody else was put through, including members of my family?
And you rejected
Prince Harry's fall from grace has reached a new low ban by Prince William from the 2025 BAFTA Awards. Harry's constant drama media stunts and attacks on the royal family have finally earned him a royal cold shoulder, making it clear he's no longer welcome in Britain's elite circles.
To repeat itself?
Yeah, I don't want history to repeat itself. I think there's a lot of other people out there, the majority, that also don't want history to repeat itself.
Prince Harry has reportedly been banned from attending the 2025 BAFTA TV Awards, and the kick of the ban didn't come from security concerns, press drama, or behind-scenes protocol. No, the man pulling the strings on this royal red carpet snub is allegedly none other than his own brother, Prince William.
Not only championed the industry's rising stars, but has helped to inspire the next generation of acting talent to pursue their dreams.
Yes, the same brothers who once stood shoulder to shoulder at their mother's funeral, the same duo that once vowed to protect each other through thick and thin, are now caught in a bitter royal rift that's more explosive than ever.
History to repeat itself, which is pretty dark.
That's quite a statement. Who do you think that is?
I'm not going to share it at this point. You know, I know all the names of the people that were involved in this process. And again, you know, you have to question, why wasn't I put through the same risk management board that everybody else was put through, including members of my family?
And you rejected
Sources close to the palace claim that Prince Harry had quietly reached out to BAFTA organizers, hoping to make a subtle yet meaningful appearance at the high-profile event.
Brown, head of BAFTA and team leader of the BAFTA Be Better committee. I was told there was an Alan coming.
I am Alan coming.
Yes, indeed. Now, Alan arrived. Sorry about the letter on the chair. Our email's down.
I know what this is about. You've nominated Lala as best canine co-host of a competition reality show, haven't you?
That isn't a category.
Well, it should be.
Look, you're a busyish man, so I'll cut to the chase. We at BAFTA, for this year's television award.
For Harry, it was supposed to be a step back into good graces of the British public, a chance to show his face not as a rebel royal, but as a dignified, reformed figure willing to bridge the gap.
Longer a working royal.
Sorry?
And you reject that it has nothing to do with the fact that you're no longer a working royal.
Whether I have an official role or not is irrelevant to the security that the...
But what did he get instead of silent, stern rejection? No fanfare, no explanation, just a firm no. And according to several insiders, that no was influenced, if not outright delivered by William himself. Let's not forget Prince William is the president of BAFTA, and let's be clear, this wasn't about seating charts or PR logistics. This was personal. Behind the velvet curtains and official statements, a storm is brewing between the once inseparable princes, from explosive interviews and Harry's tell. All memoirs spared of Meghan's Netflix series, and the couple's public criticism of royal life William has reportedly had enough.
And where no one can hear you scream. This castle is home to the traitors, but in a cruel twist of fate, Alan Cumming, the devilishly handsome host of the Traitors US, is summoned to receive a letter.
By order of the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, you have been summoned to the Traitor...
He feels betrayed. One source claimed William believes Harry crossed a line long ago, and there's no coming back, especially not on his turf. Let that sink in. The future King of England allegedly used his influence to shut out his own brother from one of the UK's most glamorous nights, all while the cameras roll and the world watches. So what does this mean for the monarchy?
Thank you. Okay, eyes this way. Just turn this way.
For their strained brotherhood, royal insiders suggest this may be the final nail in the coffin of their relationship. Public reconciliation, not likely private peace talks, unconfirmed. All we know is this BAFTA bombshell is just the latest chapter in a royal saga that's starting to feel more like a Netflix drama than a fairy tale. Prince William's decision to reportedly block Prince Harry from attending the 2025 BAFTA TV Awards wasn't merely about who appears on the red carpet. It was a strategic move rooted in his growing responsibilities as the future king. With each passing year, William's role in shaping the monarchy becomes more visible, and so does his influence. And this situation, it wasn't just about an awards show, it was about image, control, and setting a clear boundary. Insiders suggest that William didn't view Harry's potential attendance as a harmless cameo, but as a distraction, a headline magnet that could overshadow the entire ceremony. He did want the event to become about Harry and Meghan again. Explained one royal correspondent, this wasn't personal revenge. It was about protecting the focus of the evening and the dignity of the institution. As president of BAFTA, William has always positioned himself as a steady hand supporting British talent and ensuring the event remains respected. And when it came to Harry's sources claimed William felt that allowing his brother to attend might shift attention away from the nominees and onto old wounds.
Regardless of whether they have risk or threat to their name. And by the way, I agree with that. I think that is...
More than that, this was a moment of quiet authority, a chance for William to step into his role, not just as a brother, but as a future monarch, try and keep the public narrative on track after years of emotional strain, highly publicized interviews, and Harry's explosive memoir, Spare William, is said to be wary of any interaction that could reignite old controversies.
I don't need to go into detail how much the royal family costs or how much protection costs or whatever. What I will say is that some of the British tabloid press did a very good.
This isn't about pettiness, one palace insider added. William has tried to protect what's left of the royal family's image in his eyes. This was about drawing a line.
That you get the protection that you require because of your public service.
In the end, William's message wasn't necessarily one of hostility. It was a signal moving forward. Appearances, especially high-profile ones, will be carefully guarded, and that even family ties in this new royal era come second to duty.
It wasn't a choice. I've served my country for 35 years. I believe that I am still continuing to serve my country. Public service is my life. That is the dedication that will never change. And then all the other bits and pieces that are added to that. There are very, very real threats that exist out there.
Prince William and Prince Harry have now become the faces of one of the most bitter royal fallouts in modern history. And according to Harry, it wasn't just the media or the monarchy that drove the wedge, it was William.
We've talked about before, he blamed his Nazi costume on William and Kate, saying they were the ones who told me to wear it. They laughed hysterically. They thought it was amazing, but I had to take all the bad press over it. He can't even get over the little digs. Okay, here's
in his tell. All memoirs spare Harry doesn't hold back. He pulls the curtain on a relationship marred by jealousy, coldness, and a sense of betrayal that dates back years far from the dutiful, level-headed heir. The public knows Harry describes William as rigid, condescending, and at times downright cruel. He paints a picture of an older brother who allegedly mocked him, dismissed him, and never quite saw him as an equal.
Story about when they were both in the military together. They gave a joint interview, and he says, during this interview, Willie, which is what he calls his brother, griped endlessly about my habits. Harry's a slob. Harry snores. I turned and gave him
And then came the bombshells. Harry accused William and Kate of encouraging him to wear that Nazi costume, the one that caused global outrage and haunted Harry for years. He also suggested that William's icy behavior only worsened after Meghan Markle entered the scene. The attention, the modern flair, the global love Meghan drew, Harry claims it stirred a quiet storm of resentment in his brother.
Cleaned up after myself, and I didn't snore. Besides, our rooms were separated by thick walls, so even if I did, there was no way he heard. The reporters were having fits of giggles about it all, but I cut in. Lies. Lies.
But here's where the narrative splits. William's camp, tight-lipped and traditional, sees things very differently. According to Palace, insiders, William was the one trying to steady the ship, while Harry became increasingly unpredictable from fiery interviews and paparazzi wars to swipes at the crown. William reportedly felt that Harry was lashing out not just at him, but at the institution they were both born to protect.
If there wasn't something else at play. I was training to get to the front lines, the same place Willie'd been training to get, but the palace had scuttled his plans. Despair? Sure. Let him run around on a battlefield.
Then came the moment that made headlines around the world, the alleged physical altercation. A shove, a broken dog bowl, two royal brothers were brought to blows not just in anger, but in despair. For royal observers, this wasn't just sibling drama. It was symbolic of crown crackdown, the middle wonder.
Brothers do to each other. Like, he needed another brother. If I could list for you all the things that my brother has said about me, it's kind of a brother's job to toughen you up, whether you're a little brother or a little sister. That's another story he tells about how in 2015, he got a little agoraphobic. He had some panic attacks. He was giving a speech, and he said,
and while some fans still cling to hopes of a future reconciliation, the truth seems more sobering. William, the future king, is laser focused on his duty. Harry, now a California-based father and media figure, appears fully committed to telling his truth, even if it burns bridges in the process.
Face of talent, audience communication, and brand advocacy.
You mean you want me to host?
Pretty sure that's what I just said.
Wow, thanks so much. Me hosting the BAFTAs, that'll be like the 12th biggest honor of my life.
Congratulations. But that's enough celebrating. We don't want to get over emotional. To make it official, you need to take the oath.
Traitor's oath.
The BAFTA.
The feud is no longer a private family matter. It's a global spectacle playing out across books, interviews, headlines, and silence. And if Spare was meant to spark understanding, it may have done the opposite, cementing a divide that time, distance, and even blood may never fully mend.
It's weird, then you probably don't surf the internet too much. And I say bravo to you. But enough of me. What do you think of my last movie? I am honored to be in a room so full of TV talent, like the amazing Daniel Mays, who is nominated tonight.
Behind the scenes, Prince Harry's reaction to the BAFTA snub was described by insiders as a storm of emotion. And really, who could blame him for someone who spent the last few years walking a tightrope between reinvention and redemption? This was a brutal blow. This wasn't just about missing a red carpet. It was about being shut out by his own brother, on his own soil, in front of the world.
Insensitive or taking a different path to try to toughen you up and teach you to laugh at your lowest moments.
Oh, come on. This is banter. This is great British banter. It is brotherly banter. That is William's sense of humor. And to me, what was fascinating is that,
according to sources within the Sussex circle, Harry was left enraged, humiliated, and heartbreakingly isolated after years of backlash public criticism and relentless media scrutiny. He believed the BAFTAs could serve as a soft reset, a dignified, non-controversial appearance that might help rebuild his fractured relationship with the British public.
There you go.
yeah, tell me about it.
Right. Well, awards mean nothing. We all know that, right? Awards mean absolutely nothing. And you look great, Daniel, which is all that matters. It really does. Kudos to your plastic surgeon, seriously. We can cut this bit out, right? I'll just go back a little bit. Yeah, okay. I'm honoured to be in a room so full of TV talents. Baby Reindeer, Mr. Loverman, Taskmaster, Clive Myrie.
But instead of a quiet comeback, he was met with a cold, strategic rejection. And worse, he believes it came directly from William. Harry felt blindsided, one source shared. He reached out in good faith. He thought he was extending an olive branch, but what he got in return was a slap in the face.